Citizens speak out. People across the globe are continuing to stand up to oppressive regimes in their quest for improved lives and greater basic freedoms as they gather in countries such as Afghanistan, Bahrain, Greece, Iran, Jordan, Libya, Palestine, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen.
Afghanistan. The International Committee of the Red Cross, or ICRC, has reported to the Xinhua News Agency that approximately 2,000 Afghans are disabled each year due to millions of landmines and other unexploded munitions left behind from 30 years of conflict. In an effort to help victims recover from their often incapacitating injuries, the ICRC has set up 7 orthopedic centers across the country to provide prosthetic limbs and physiotherapy. Iran. Jailed Iranian journalist and activist Reza Hoda Saber died of a hunger strike Saturday, June 11th, in which he had protested the death of activist Haleh Sahabi, who had been jailed and may have been beaten by security forces as she attended her father's funeral 2 weeks ago. Iranians also stood together in a silent march on Sunday, marking the 2-year anniversary of the 2009 disputed election, which police later dispersed using clubs. Greece. Over 20,000 people demonstrated in Athens on Sunday in continued protests of the government's debt repayment plans that include more budget reductions and the sale of state-owned companies, with the protesters saying that the government should further tax the wealthy rather than impose measures that most adversely affect middle and low-income citizens.
Sudan. Following 2 days of talks in Ethiopia, North Sudan has agreed to withdraw troops from the disputed oil-rich Abyei border region. Representatives from the north and the south have agreed that the area is to be demilitarized, with Ethiopian peacekeepers who will ensure the safety of residents wishing to return.
Jordan. For the first time in 6 months of protesters demanding greater democratic representation, Jordan's King Abdullah announced support for a new electoral law that will lead to a government cabinet elected by parliament rather than appointed by him.
Bahrain. Activists state that an estimated 400 people are being tried in military courts on charges relating to their participation in peaceful protests over the recent months, with many who are given very little, if any, notice of their trials, leaving no time to prepare a legal defense.
Syria. According to Syrian state television, the army has taken control of the northern city of Jisr al-Shagor. Witnesses and activists report that all men between the ages of 18 and 40 are being arrested, with 10 people who have been killed by sniper fire as both homes and crops are being destroyed. BBC reporter Owen Bennett-Jones stated that at least 5,000 Syrians have crossed the border into Turkey so far. Many more have gathered outside Jisr al-Shagor with what they could carry, ready to similarly flee if the Syrian army continues to occupy the town. Activists also report that the death toll since the uprising began 3 months ago has risen to 1,300 people. On Monday, the United States again spoke out against Syria's recent crackdown in Jisr al-Shagor, this time calling on President Bashar al-Assad to cease all violence and either lead the necessary political reforms or step aside.
Yemen. Clashes in southern Yemen have intensified, with 7 people killed Sunday in Zanzibar, as a military official stated that at least 140 have died in the past 2 weeks of clashes there with armed men. Concerned at the deteriorating situation, Russia sent 2 planes to remove the country's nationals. On Monday, in the first meeting of its kind, activists reported fruitful discussions with acting President Abd Rabbu Mansour Hadi about the transfer of presidential power to a transitional government, saying that they would be meeting again soon to begin the process.
Libya. During a Monday visit to the activist-administered Libyan city of Benghazi, German Foreign Minister Guido Westerwelle conveyed his country's recognition of the National Transitional Council as the legitimate representative of the Libyan people. He also announced that Germany would be joining several other countries and the United Nations in opening a diplomatic office in Benghazi.
With deep sorrow for the loss of precious lives and the struggles of the people, we pray for a ceasing of strife in every nation and that all citizens may choose lives of dignity, peace, and freedom.